What's going on, everybody? It's a Thursday at the beginning of July. I don't know what day it is, and I don't care because it's Black Widow Day. Woo! Finally, after all this time, the movie's out, playing that same trailer over and over again. It's here. COVID can suck it. We finally got the movie. Plot breakdown. Movie kicks off with a nifty little flashback from the 90s. Yeah. So you get a wonderful family, you get a really cute sisterly bond, you get a very loving mother, you get that doting dad who's just like a bear, you want to give him a big hug, and then things go south and they gotta leave. Quick. They don't have a lot of time. So they go and they vacate and they see that there's cops kind of blocking the way. And then when they get to this airfield, you know, things are still tense and you're like, all right, this family is still on the land. What is going on here? And then, you know, once they get the family into the plane, then Dad's like, hold on a second. And he flips his car out of the way. And then it kind of turns that switch on in your brain. You're like, holy crap, yeah, I'm still watching a superhero movie. But what is happening? This is like ripped out of like the Bourne Identity. Plane takes off. He jumps onto the plane. He's popping off cops and everything like that. It goes. The plane lands. The girls get drugged. And then you get a wild, for Marvel, wild opening credit montage. Honestly, it feels a lot like the Incredible Hulk opening credits, set to a real morose Nirvana song cover, and it's crazy. And there you go, boom, Black Widow, the Red Room, the kids are trained, they're assassins now. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of the movie takes place, not present day, but in between Civil War and Infinity War. Nat's on the run, but her being on the run leads her into running into her sister. And then once she runs into her, then they have to take out the Red Room. They have to take it down because it's not taken down like Nat thought it was. So, there we go.
Business.
Exactly. This movie includes everything from closure on Nat. We find out about her parents. No, she's not a Skywalker. We get all kinds of loving, touch tributes and callbacks. We get great rebonding. We get wonderful action. No, there's no Tony Stark cameo like the internet would have you believe. But there's David Harbour, and he kills it. So let's talk about the acting. All right, this is Scarlett Johansson's movie.
Very good.
Finally, she gets her own movie.
She's okay.
She showed up in Iron Man 2 as the eye candy. And she's been showing up ever since. She gave her life.
I think she just shows up.
She just shows up.
She's
invited along, I guess.
Guys.
She's a third wheel. Why this movie now? Why not this movie in between Infinity War and Civil War? Does it have to do with the credit scene, which features someone from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Could be. But the point is that we get this now because it feels right to get this closure. This is the kind of closure that we need. It doesn't answer every single thing, but it gives us the backstory on Budapest. That little back and forth between her and Hawkeye. It gives us what happened to her mother. Spoiler alert, she's dead. But
super dead.
We also get her adoptive family. And we get the introduction to the new widow, played by Florence Pugh. Let's talk about her. She's fantastic.
Great. Oh my gosh, she's so good.
Hilarious.
The sister bond that these two have is just like, it's so great. You got the young sister who's quick-witted and just very like, I'm going to just say it and feel it, and she's, and Black Widow's just the mom, and no.
And it's great, because, the writing is so good between the both of them, because, you really feel like Nat is the big sister mom type, and that Florence Pugh's character is the younger one. She's the baby of the family. So when they're sitting there at the table, when they finally have Alexei, broken out of prison, and they have Rachel Weisz's character there as well. They're all trading jokes back and forth about being a family together again.
But it kind of gets intense.
It gets intense when Nat says it's all fake. And you see Florence start to tear up, and she gets all rosy in the cheeks, and she's like, it was real to me. And that breaks your heart, because then you realize that she's just a kid that was taken away from her real family. But what she was given is the only family she's ever known.
Only.
And it's fantastic. But speaking of fantastic, you also have David Harbour. The dude's comedic timing,
so amazing.
He's phenomenal, and I will continue to watch anything that man does. Still waiting on a Hellboy sequel. I need a Red Guardian show now. He's great. He sells that that glory hound. By telling stories about when he fought Captain America, even though He's still frozen back in the 70s when he's telling the story.
He tried it.
But then you can also see that even though it was all just a ruse, even though it was all just a covert mission, he still cares about them. He still refers to them immediately as my girls. That's my girls. And he loves them. He still cares about them. Even though he's not their dad, he's not their father, but he was the only dad that they ever knew. And it was the only kids that he ever had, that he ever knew.
Right.
You have Rachel Weisz as the mom. Is she evil?
Rach.
Is she good? She's fantastic. We need more her. Why she only pops up once every few years is beyond me. It's despicable.
She's
but
alright.
here we are. And then, no superhero movie is complete without the bad guy.
Ugh.
In this case, it's bad guys, but that S in parentheses with a question mark. The main bad guy is Dreykov, played by Ray Winstone. Tell me one time that Ray Winstone hasn't played a raging prick, and I will give you $5. The man plays bad well. Yes.
I actually have never seen him before, so I don't. Can I still have the $5?
You cannot. He plays bad great. He's fantastic.
He's
really
good.
Menacing. I mean, he just... the way that he's staring an Avenger in the face and just backhands her like it's nothing. I mean, this dude's going toe-to-toe with an Avenger. And he's just going to knock her out. It's absurd. But then you also have the other bad guy. And this, I feel, is on the same level of a plot twist as Trevor Slattery from Iron Man 3. At least from the audience reaction that I could kind of tune into a little bit. So you have Taskmaster, one of my favorite villains from the comics. He can observe anybody fight, and he'll know their fighting style, and be able to mimic it immediately. Like they mentioned in the movie, it's like you're fighting a mirror of yourself. He's fantastic. But the problem is here, and it's not a problem to me, is that he is a she. And she is Dreykov's daughter, who was killed in the assassination attempt on Dreykov himself by none other than Black Widow. Hell of a plot twist. You get a cameo by Olga Krylenko. Doesn't really say much other than a handful of words, but menacing. Wonderfully done.
So good.
Which leads to the action, which is also wonderfully done. We've seen intense action before. Pretty much anything that the Russo brothers have done, whether it is Winter Soldier, Civil War. I mean, these guys, they did brutal action. They did it brutally well. The Marvel Universe is starting to get a little bit more comfortable with brutally murdering people. Well, this
Especially
movie...
throughout this whole movie.
This entire movie, I promise you, is that close to an R rating. I mean, we go from maiming people...
I thought it was an R rating. The whole time I was watching it until afterwards, and I asked, and I'm like, was this not an R? Because they were just throwing words and hands like it was nobody's business.
I mean, you've got broken bones and twisted necks, and they blew off a whole girl's side of the face. I mean,
it's wild.
It's a brutally nasty movie. But the action is fantastic. And I would recommend seeing this in IMAX. You know how IMAX does that expanded screen thing? The chase scene when they're going through Budapest and it has Taskmaster's truck and it's on the rooftops. I mean, it's beautiful to look at in that expanded format. The final fight showdown takes place on a sky fortress. Yeah, you heard me right. It's awesome and it's wonderful. The
visually pleasing.
The prison breakout scene feels 100% inspired by the Ghost Protocol Tom Cruise breakout at the beginning of the movie. Amped up to 50, and it's great. Overall, though, I'm going to have to give this I'll be generous, 15 out of 5 tacos.
Well, that's nice.
It is nice.
I'm definitely not going to get... I mean, I'll give it a 3.75 out of 5 tacos.
Okay.
You should see it.
Right. Yeah. So, Black Widow, it's in theaters now. It gives you closure on that. It has a wonderfully beautiful ending that actually doesn't beat you over the head with its symbolism, but if you're paying attention and you listen close enough, you'll totally get what they're saying. If you've seen it, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know what you thought. This is a spoiler-filled zone.
A lot of...
Trek ahead at your own risk. Let's start dropping spoilers. I'll go first in the comments. But let me know what you think. If you liked it, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know. And that's really all there is to say about that movie. Definitely no after credits scene that we could discuss briefly. Right? Oh, but wait, there is. Valentina's back. Okay? If you guys have seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Valentina's back. And she shows up to recruit Florence Pugh on another mission. to kill the guy responsible for the death of her sister. But who's the guy? It's Hawkeye.
Poor Hawkeye.
We don't know what's going to happen now, whether
No
that's
idea.
you know, her own show or if that's in Hawkeye's show.
Guess we'll find out.
Guess we'll find out. Thunderbolts assemble, am I right? Or Dark Avengers, who knows? So, until next time, guys, this has been VHS Tacos signing off. Go see Black Widow. Don't wait. It's been 2 years since you got a Marvel movie, and we'll catch you guys on the next movie. Adios.